Welcome to another episode of Reflective Dive. Today we're diving into a book with a title that's, well, it's designed to provoke you. Robert Kiyosaki's Why A Students Work for C Students. Now this is way more than just a clever title. It's a financial wake-up call that really questions the foundation of everything we've been taught about what it means to be successful. So let's get into it.
So, the book throws this question at you right from the get-go. And let's be clear, this isn't really about your high school GPA. It's about something much deeper. Two totally different ways of learning about the world. I mean, have you ever felt this? You did everything right, you followed the playbook, got the degree, landed the job, but you're still just stuck? Like you're running on a financial hamster wheel? If that sounds familiar, you're going to get what this book is saying. It's hinting that there's a secret curriculum for success, one they definitely don't hand out on campus.
Right. And that brings us straight to what Kiyosaki calls the A student trap. You know, he has this great analogy. He says, our whole school system is kind of like that old story, The Emperor's New Clothes. Everyone's telling you how amazing this path is, how it's going to set you up for life. But then you graduate, you step into the real world, and you realize you're financially, well, naked. You're completely unprepared for how the game of money is actually played.
This quote from Einstein just nails it, doesn't it? Our schools, for the most part, have this one-size-fits-all definition of smart. It's all about academic smarts. The system is basically a factory for producing world-class tree climbers. But what if you're a fish? What if your genius is in swimming? The book's whole point is that this other kind of genius, financial genius, entrepreneurial genius, the ability to actually navigate the real world of money, that gets completely overlooked. Sometimes it's even looked down on.
Okay, so look at this. This is where it gets really crazy. The disconnect is just wow. School drills into you. Get a good job. Play it safe. Job security is everything. And whatever you do, don't fail. But then you look at how real wealth is actually built, it's the complete opposite. It's about creating jobs, not just getting one. It's about aiming for financial freedom, not just security. And failure? Failure is just tuition for success. And the biggest blind spot of all, the one thing the real world revolves around, money. And school teaches you, well, basically nothing about it. It's pretty wild when you lay it all out like that.
So to really make this idea stick, Kiyosaki uses this famous story of his two dads. It's a powerful metaphor, really. Each one represents a totally different way of thinking about money, and these two philosophies were constantly at war, shaping how he saw the world. You've got his poor dad on one side, that was his actual father, a super smart guy, a classic A student who did everything by the book. You know the advice. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe, secure job. But the thing is, even with a great job and all that education, he was always struggling with money, always fragile. And then you had his rich dad. This was his best friend's father, a guy who was a C student, didn't even finish school, but became a successful entrepreneur. His advice sounded like it came from another universe entirely. He said, don't work for money. Learn how money works so it can work for you. Okay, so you've got these two completely different mindsets, these two different worlds. How do you even begin to make sense of it all? Well, Kiyosaki gives us a map. A really simple but honestly life-changing map he calls the cash flow quadrant. It's basically a way to see where your income is coming from right now and, more importantly, figure out where you want it to come from.
This map is broken down into two sides. Over on the left, you have E for employee and S for self-employed or specialist. This is where, let's be honest, most of us live. You have a job, you trade your time for a paycheck. This is the world the A student is perfectly trained for. But then you look at the right side. That's B for business owner and I for investor. And over here, the game is totally different. You don't trade time for money, you own systems and you own assets. And your money does the heavy lifting for you.
And here's the key takeaway, the big aha moment. Real, true financial freedom. It's not about just getting a raise or a better job on the left side of this map. It's about making a fundamental shift. It's about moving your primary source of income from the left side over to the right side. It's about moving from earning money to having your money earn money for you. By the way, if this is clicking for you, if you're finding this useful, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us keep making more explainers like this.
So, the big question is, how do you actually do that? How do you make that jump from the left side to the right? The book's answer is pretty surprising. It says it's not about stuffing your head with more facts, what he calls content. No, it's about something deeper. It's about rewiring your brain, changing your entire perspective, or what he calls your context.
Man, this idea is a game changer. Think about it. If your context is that of an employee, if you truly believe deep down that debt is always bad, or investing is just gambling, or I need the security of a paycheck, then you're going to automatically shut down any advice that could actually make you rich. It won't even register. It's like trying to pour water into a cup that's already full to the brim. The new info just spills right off the side because it has nowhere to go. It doesn't fit the reality you've built for yourself.
And this right here shows you exactly how the financial system is wired. So people on the left side, the employees, the self-employed, we're all taught to save money, right? Put it in the bank, get a tiny bit of interest. But what happens to that money? The bank turns around and lends that exact same money, they call it OPM, other people's money, to the folks on the right side, the business owners and investors. And what do? They use it to buy assets like real estate or businesses that make them even more money. So without even realizing it, the savers on the left are actually financing the wealth creation for the investors on the right.
Okay, so how do you break out of that old context? How do you actually change your brain? Kiyosaki gives a very practical, real-world assignment. He was challenged to pick a field, let's say real estate, and go analyze 100 deals in 90 days. Now here's the kicker. He didn't need a single dollar to do it. The point wasn't to buy anything. The point was to train his brain. When you force yourself to look at deal after deal after deal, something shifts. You go from being a spectator to being a player in the game. You literally start seeing the world through the eyes of an investor.
All right, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and this might be the most important mind shift of all. The way school grades you with an A or a C with your GPA, that's not how the real world of money keeps score, not even close. It's time we all started looking at a totally different report card.
I mean, just think about it. When you walk into a bank for a serious loan, like for a business or a rental property, does the banker ask to see your report card from college? No way. They ask for one thing: your financial statement. Because in the real world, that is your report card. It tells the whole story. It's the raw, unfiltered truth about how smart you really are with money. And this right here, this shows what a failing grade looks like on that new report card. It's a pattern that traps millions of people, especially recent grads. The paycheck comes in from your job, and then whoosh, it flows straight out to cover expenses. Rent, car payments, student loans, you name it. It's in one door and out the other. And that asset column, it stays at zero month after month, year after year. That, my friends, is the rat race. It's a financial treadmill, and getting a bigger paycheck won't get you off it.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Our school system is an incredible machine for creating excellent employees. It trains you to focus on your income statement, on that paycheck. But if you want real financial freedom, you have to change the game you're playing. You have to start learning how to be a business owner, how to be an investor. You have to start focusing on building that asset column. I really appreciate you tuning in, and if this gave you something to think about, please hit that like button and subscribe for more.
So I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. Your education, your degree, it did its job. It prepared you to earn a paycheck. But if any of this resonated with you today, ask yourself this one simple question. What's the very first step, no matter how small, that you can take today to start learning how to build an asset? Because that one small step is how the entire journey begins.